Hi everybody, Mrs. Berry, Max, and Gronk here today. Thought we'd talk to you a little bit about portraits since you've been drawing them. 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade have been working on proportion and getting shapes correctly. So Max and Gronk want to draw their own self-portraits. So I talk about a famous portrait artist today. So I set them up, I gave them each a picture of themselves, and then gave them a piece of paper, and Max wanted a marker. Gronk wanted a marker to draw his, so he's going to draw his a marker, and I would not let poor little Max, who you can see has a little band-aid from his last adventures, anything like that. I think we'll just keep him safe today so he doesn't have any more mishaps, and he's going to use crayons and a pencil for his little drawing. So you guys are going to be drawing self-portraits while I talk about the artist Chuck Close today. Chuck Close was an artist born in Monroe, Washington, the state of Washington, in 1940. He's alive today. He's a very famous portrait artist today. His paintings are known as photorealists. Photorealist means that they look like photographs. Now I want you to be aware that he did not start off in a good shape with education. He had dyslexia. Dyslexia is where he did not understand or could not read words and process them like we can, but it doesn't mean anything's wrong. He's very intelligent. It's just they can't see that their brain doesn't work exactly like ours. So luckily he was exposed to art, and obviously he's a genius. This is actually a self-portrait of Chuck Close. Looks like a photograph, but it's not. It's one of his paintings. Pretty amazing, huh? Pretty amazing. Now, he didn't only stick with painting. He explored other ways to create portraits. This one is made of paper pulp. Paper pulp is where you shred paper, and then he would add some glue to it, and he would add that for his medium for his portrait. So that's one of his paper pulp pictures. But I also want to show you Fanny. Fanny's one of my favorite of his. Fanny is made up of all fingerprints. So this is Fanny. I'm going to show you a blown up picture of Fanny. Fanny, where you can see the fingerprints. Let me just hold on one more right there. So this is made out of all fingerprints. Pretty amazing, huh? Something tragic happened to Chuck Close in 1988. He was giving out an award, a prestigious art award, where he had a really sharp pain in his chest, and he went to the hospital, ended up having a seizure, and it ended up being spinal artery collapse. Spinal artery collapse left him paralyzed from the neck down. He did intensive therapy, physical therapy, where he could at least get a little bit of movement of his arms. Now think about that. An artist who loses their body control. An artist's hands are everything to an artist, but Chuck Close persevered. In his wheelchair, he has as an assistant put a grid on the photograph, and then he puts a grid on his canvas, and Chuck paints one square at a time. Let me explain a little bit. I've got a grid paper here that I drew. I'm going to borrow Gronk's. I did this for Gronk, but he didn't want to do it. And what would happen is you would look at the second square or the first square, and you would draw exactly what is in that first square of the picture. And then you go from there. Now, Chuck found out later in life that he has something called prosopagnosia. And prosopagnosia is a really long word, but it means that he has no facial recognition. He always wondered why he couldn't recognize somebody right off when he'd seen them for many times. He'd have to listen to their voice. And this is a late discovery on his part, but he feels like it kept him painting portraits. He never got bored with the face because he never recognized it from time to time. Now, because of this seizure that he had in the spinal artery collapse that left him paralyzed, he did a little bit of exploring on his grids. He would paint them with shapes, but when you looked at them far away, they looked just like a picture. So this one is the grid squares up and down. This is if he put the grid going from the center out. Can you see that one? Now up close, the cover of the book does a good job. This is what they look like up close. His paintings are always really huge. He said he wanted people to stop and recognize them. So that's why he would draw them huge. I'm just going to leave you with the final one of Chuck Close. And then I think, let's go ahead and see what Max and Gronk did on their self-portraits. Oh, Max, I thought you wouldn't have any problems with crayons. How did you end up with crayons in your hair? Oh, and your feet. Well, you're holding on your crayons there. We'll get them out later. Okay, Gronk, let's see what you did with your self-portrait. Oh, wow. That's really good, Gronk. That looks just like you. Good job. What'd you draw, Max? Wow, Max, that's really good. Nice job, Max. Oh, you what? Oh, you have a second drawing for me? Who's this one of? Oh, that's me. What do you think of Max's drawing of me? We haven't really worked on people yet. No neck, but that's all right. We'll talk about it later, Max. Everybody enjoy yourself. Have fun drawing some people, faces, some portraits, and I will see you soon, hopefully. Bye. Bye from Max, Gronk, and Mrs. Berry.